Hello, welcome to Andale Homestead. I'm Ann and I'm so glad that you're here. Today is a wonderful day and I thought what we could do while I harvest a little dill out here in the land of plenty is sit and maybe chat for a while. I wanted to share a story. Every Thanksgiving, every November, I think about this story and it makes me appreciate life even more than I already do. So let me get all set up. I'll show you the dill that we're harvesting and then we'll get to chatting a little bit. Thank you for being here. So I'm sitting on my bench, man. I love this bench from Amerla. They were so kind and sweet and sent it to me. No strings attached or anything, but I use this bench all the time. So here's my dill. I don't know if you remember or not, but I prayed over this dill and the Lord has come through. I'm telling you, I've got dill like crazy. You can see it's already been harvested several times. So I'm gonna harvest a little bit of dill and then I'd like to share a little story with you. Hey everybody. I thought I'd sit and chat with you for a minute to tell you how special November is for me. And when we're talking about being thankful for Thanksgiving, I am especially thankful during the month of November. I had to take my coat off. It's gotten pretty warm out here, but you know, the sun is moving. I might have to put it back on while we're here. I thought the view would be nice for you to be able to look out over the water with the fall colors. So let me get started with my story that I wanted to share. It's my story to be able to share how God has worked in my life, what brought me to such an incredible, close relationship with Jesus. So back in 2008, in November, I had gotten the swine flu. Now, I was better. During the week, I was good. I was still up working as a real estate agent, going to town, and on the weekends, I would crash and burn, kind of lay down on the couch and hold the remote control back when we used to watch TV. And there was a weekend about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, just about this time of year, where my family had been invited to go up and see my Aunt Peg and my Uncle Wayne at Lake Gaston. And I had to work on that Saturday morning. So that Friday, my husband, both my children, my son and daughter, they were living at home at the time, took off and I was to meet them there on Saturday. And they took our 2 big dogs that we had at the time, German short-haired pointers, with them. Well, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up, which is the first miracle, and I couldn't breathe. I could get air out, but I couldn't get any air in. And I was really struggling to get any air in my lungs. And I knew it was bad. Tried to run outside. It was a cool, crisp morning. That didn't work. I ran to the shower to try to turn on the hot water. That was taking too long, and I was getting worse. And I knew that I needed to call 911 because I probably would not be able to drive myself to the hospital. And as I'm struggling, there was a Deputy Ken Townsend, that received the call to come to help the ambulance come to my home. Now, you know, a deputy sheriff's job is not to rescue anyone. His job is to make sure that the emergency vehicle is safe. So he was sitting there at a stop sign, just waiting for the ambulance. And he said that ambulance was just not coming. And he had a voice that told him to come ahead, that he was needed. And that precious man listened to the Holy Spirit, and he came on in. When he got to my house, I was already gone. I had stopped breathing, and he came in, performed CPR, and brought this earthly body back to life. Now, it's not that often that you get to talk to somebody that has died and come back. And I get questions all the time. Did you see a light? Did you see your family? What did you see? Excuse me, I didn't see any of that. But I did hear him. I did hear his voice. And he told me, it's okay. It's not your time. I've got you. Calm, sweet, wonderful voice. And I was warm and I was safe. And I knew that. Because in that time, while I was on the phone with 911, before I had gone away, I began to ask for forgiveness. I knew it was bad. I was talking to the Lord. I was asking for forgiveness of my sins. And I did not have a real personal relationship with Jesus at that time. I mean, I knew who he was. I liked him. I loved him. I knew that he was all powerful and wonderful and fabulous, but I didn't really live my life for him that much. And that has changed since then. So that's a true lesson to be thankful for. That's for sure. So I was calling on him, saying, Lord, please forgive me. Please forgive me of my sins. I love you, and your will be done. So this deputy sheriff came in, and he was able to come in the house because the dogs weren't here. They were quite protective over me and our family, and that may have caused him some hesitation. He picked up my phone after he got me breathing a little bit, picked up my phone that normally had a lock on it. Excuse me. And there was no lock on the phone. I had very poor cell service at my home, but he was able to call out on my phone to the last person that I had talked to, which was my daughter at Lake Gaston, which also had no cell phone service whatsoever. Guess what? That phone rang. She was able to talk with him. She was able to speak, to know, to be able to get me help, to get them working towards coming home. And as I was taken off to the hospital, I woke up once they put me on the hospital bed, and the deputy came in and he said, ma'am, you and me, we're in a relationship now. We might need to get married, what we just had to do. So, I love that man very, very much. But the amazing part about it is that he had never in his career had to perform CPR before. Well, guess what? 2 weeks before this incident happened, he was in a CPR class. God had already worked it out. He knew that this man had a willing soul, and he was setting the stage to be able to keep me on earth. Now, at that time, both of my children, neither had been married. I've been able to see them get married. I've been able to see both of them get baptized. My husband and I were rebaptized. It's just been an amazing, glorious time to be able to get to know the Lord better. And unfortunately, that deputy that I adore, my godsend, at the ripe old age of 47, passed away from a heart attack. I'll put a picture of him here in the end, if you'd like to see that handsome man. And I was so sad, and I felt so badly, saying that I needed to be there for him. I should have been able to help save him. And I shared that with some of his family at his sending off. And they said, honey, we can't question the Lord. He knows what he's doing. We haven't surprised him. We're the ones that have been surprised. So I share all this to tell you that each day when we wake up, that's such a blessing to be able to just understand that we have another opportunity to be able to do something for him. And to know that there are not coincidences. The dogs were gone. The phones worked. He was in a CPR class. He was able to come and listen to the Holy Spirit before this ever happened. And there's just no way that's by chance. And I'm so incredibly grateful to have been able to be here. I wouldn't have been able to share this with you. So I hope that you're having a wonderful day. And I really appreciate you all being here. If you've stayed through this whole long story, that's been wonderful. But I want you to know that there is comfort, that even though we're surprised, our precious Lord and Father is not. You guys take care. And remember, I love you. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now.